You are about to join the finest army the world has ever seen. Rome doesn't lose. Rome doesn't get ambushed. Rome doesn't get erased. Keep that in mind. It's about to matter a lot. This is your life as a legionary of the 19th Legion in the year 9 AD. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why modern historians still flinch when they hear one word: Teutoburg. You are 19. You've just signed on for 25 years of service. Yes, 25. In exchange for a wage, a promise of land when you're done, and the chance to be part of something that has never, in living memory, been defeated. You're issued your kit, a segmented iron cuirass, a rectangular shield taller than your torso, a short stabbing sword called a gladius that's built for one job, getting close enough to kill a man before he kills you. Your centurion doesn't like you yet. He won't like you for years. His job is to turn farm boys and debtors into a machine that moves as one organism. You march 20 miles a day carrying 45 pounds of gear, dig a fortified camp every single night even when nothing is chasing you, and get beaten with a vine staff for talking in formation. This is boring, brutal, repetitive. This is also, historians will tell you, the actual secret weapon. Rome's enemies fight bravely. Rome's soldiers fight the same way, every time, without thinking. 5 years in, you've stopped being a recruit and become a soldier. You know your unit, your century, your cohort, the 8 men you share a tent with and would die for. You've served under Publius Quinctilius Varus, the new governor of Germania. He's not a warrior. He's a career administrator, good at collecting taxes, bad at reading a room. And the room he's failed to read is this: the Germanic tribes he's been governing like a conquered province were never actually conquered. They've just been waiting. One of them, a young nobleman named Arminius, who grew up in Rome, trained in the Roman army, even holds Roman citizenship, has become Varus's most trusted advisor. You don't know it yet, but Arminius has spent the last 2 years building a coalition of tribes behind Varus's back. Every scrap of Roman tactics he learned as a boy, he's about to use against the people who taught him. Late summer, you're marching back to winter quarters. 3 legions, roughly 15,000 to 20,000 men, plus wives, servants, traders, children. An entire small city walking through the woods. Then a messenger arrives. A minor uprising a few days' march away. Arminius volunteers to go scout it. Varus, trusting him completely, agrees, and even changes the army's route to deal with it. That route cuts straight into the Teutoburg Forest. Narrow paths, thick mud, dense trees, no room to form the wide battle lines that make a Roman army unstoppable in the open. You don't think much of it. Rome has marched through worse. You have no idea that every mile you walk from here is a mile deeper into a trap that's been 2 years in the making. Day 1 in the forest. Rain turns the path to soup. The column stretches for miles, so long that the front and back can't see or hear each other. Then, without warning, javelins out of the trees. A few men fall. You form up as best you can, but as best you can isn't very good when you're strung out single file through mud with a shield built for open field formations. The attackers vanish back into the forest before you can close with them. This isn't a battle. This is a bleeding. That night, you build a fortified camp like you've done 1,000 times before. It works. You survive the night. For a moment, you think the worst is over. It isn't. It's day 1 of 4. Day 2, you abandon the heavy baggage train to move faster. It doesn't help. The attacks keep coming. Hit, vanish, hit again. From men who know this forest, and you do not. Day 3, earthen walls. The Germans have built a rampart along the path, funneling your column into a kill zone. You march directly into it because there's nowhere else to go. This is when you understand, for the first time in your life, that Rome can lose. Varus, wounded and out of options, falls on his own sword rather than be captured. Other officers follow his example. The army you belong to, the machine that never loses, is coming apart in the rain. You do the only thing left. You fight, not for glory, not for Rome, for the 8 men in your tent group who are the only family you have left standing. By the 4th day, it's over. 3 entire legions, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, ceased to exist. Somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 Romans are dead, captured, or enslaved. Some prisoners are sacrificed to Germanic gods. Some officers' skulls are nailed to trees. A few, a very few, escape through the forest and live to tell it. In Rome, when word reaches the Emperor Augustus, witnesses say he goes weeks without cutting his hair or beard, and is heard walking the halls of his palace at night shouting, Quintili vare, legiones ready. Varus, give me back my legions. Those legion numbers, 17, 18, 19, are never reused. Not once, for the rest of Roman history. It's the closest thing an empire has to refusing to speak a name. Rome never permanently pushes past the Rhine again. Historians will later call this the moment the empire's expansion into Germania simply stopped. You joined an army that had never lost. You didn't know you'd be there for the day it finally did.